Speaker, sir. Just to clarify, because I haven't heard the Honourable Minister reply to the fact that the company supplying the tablet, that is DCL, went into receivership. Is it the same company that will supply the tablet or not? Can you clarify on this?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I've answered questions a number of times in this August Assembly with regards to the EDLP project. This project is being run by the Ministry of Education with the support of the Government of India, with a company run under the aegis of the Indian Ministry of Human Resources, EDSIL India. And EDSIL India had had come up with a company, an Indian company, for the supply of the tablets. These two projects are totally different.
Yes, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Answering to a PQ on the 4th of July 2017, the Honourable Minister informs the House that in relation to Phase 2 and 3, that a study would be carried out for the tunnel. It was in July 2017, PQ B492. And I ask the Honourable Minister whether this study since then has been done, and if it has been done, whether he can table a copy of this study, and by whom this study has been done.
Well, the study has not yet been done. In fact, we are planning to have the first geotechnical study in the months to come.
In a similar post PQ, the Honourable Minister informed the House that we recall that there were many repairs that was been done for the Ring Road project, Phase 1, whereby there was 115 million rupees of retention money, performance bonus, I'm sorry, and secondly 42 million rupees of retention money. May I ask the Honourable Minister whether this sum has completely been released now?
I'll have to check, because what I can say is that the works were under the defect liability period. In fact, the repairs have been carried out by the company which built the road, and the retention money was there, in fact, to offset the sum until the works have been done. I have to check about that. I think it must have been repaid already.
Yes, Honourable
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, more than 2.5 years since the outbreak of FMD disease, cattle now are being imported from Rodrigue through the meat authority, slaughtered and used for consumption. Therefore, can I ask the Honourable Minister, does he find it normal that cattle are being imported, slaughtered and consumed? This is okay, but it can't be imported for fattening and for breeding. If it can't be imported for fattening and breeding, how can we import it, slaughter it and consume it?
Well, let me first inform the House, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, that the FMD disease is not transferred into human beings. I've said that many times at the time when we had that outbreak. Yet, you probably are aware, in many countries where FMD disease is existent in animals, they are being consumed without any issues. That's one thing. Secondly, we have allowed animals from Rodrigues to be imported, and those animals that are being imported from Rodrigues, they are being screened by the vets there. They are first selected from areas where they were not affected by the FMD. Secondly, they've been screened, quarantined, and before even getting on board the ships, they are being verified for the last time before being embarked, and they come to Mauritius and go straight away to the slaughterhouse for the slaughtering.
But according to my information, one of the reasons why cattle are not being imported for breeding in Mauritius is that the main importer, who is in a monopolistic situation, is, according to my information, putting pressure on the veterinary services not to allow importation from Rodrigue, so that they still have their monopolistic situation to import from South Africa and Australia. And I ask the Honourable Minister to see to it that no pressure is exercised from whoever so as not to allow cattle from being imported from Rodrigues.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, so first I would like to reassure the member that I don't work under pressure. And I must say that last year we imported from Rodrigues 1,495 heads of goat and sheep and 444 heads of cattle. And this year, from January to date, we have already imported 1,938 goat and sheep and 204 cattle. So claiming that we are under pressure from a specific importer not to import animals from Rodrigues is not correct.
Honorable Jamal.
It's an outbreak and all the measures, the precautions that has been taken. I understand that there hasn't been any new cases. In fact, that was what I wanted to ask the Honourable Minister. In recent months, has there been any single case of FMD?
None, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Ever since, I think it was sometime in September 2016, we haven't had any case of FMD disease in Mauritius or in Rodrigues.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Even if the Honourable Minister doesn't have the information now, he can give it at a later stage, but can he also give a list of cases that has been lodged against the state for the past 3 years, but which has not yet been settled? I know you don't have the information now, but can you provide the House with the information at a later stage?
That will have to come by way of a substantive question. What is actually being tabulated is the 42 cases lodged against the state which have been settled in court. I want to specify that, not out of court. But for the number of cases which are still pending, that is another matter. It will take some time because there are quite a number of cases against the state. The House will appreciate.
The Honourable Minister gave us the details, but he didn't give us the details on the names of the bidders, how many bidders there were, and also the name of the successful bidder, and also what is the value of the bid.
Sorry, I don't have how many bidders there was. I don't have this, but I gave the name of the successful bidder. It's Swadesi Civil Infrastructure Private Limited, and the value is 1 billion rupees. 1 billion.
Honorable Ramanu.
Clarify again, these figures, both contracts have been awarded to the same contractor, that is renovation and the new setting up of this council.
Yeah, it's only one contract doing the renovation and doing the new building as well. It's only one contract.
Last question, Honorable Ramanu.